oh, you don't sleep too much now. Don't sleep too much. Moderation, moderation in everything. Or don't eat too much fruit. Oh my God, moderation. All right, so let's talk today about moderation. Moderation in everything. Moderation is like the most important thing in life, you know. You can do almost anything you want, you can eat whatever you'd like, as long as you do it in moderation. It'll all be fine. Let's investigate that idea a little bit. What does it mean to moderate? Well, to moderate means that you limit yourself, basically. You don't just go ahead and do as much as you want of something. You kind of moderate it. You decide, no, I'm gonna do this much, or I'm gonna do this much, or whatever. And there seems to be a prevalent idea that even unhealthy habits, it's not really unhealthy as long as we do it in moderation. But of course, the truth is, in my opinion anyway, is that everything that's unhealthy for us is unhealthy regardless of dose. Sure, dose matters. The more we do of an unhealthy activity, the worse it is for us, the worse the consequences will be. But generally speaking, if something is unhealthy for us, moderation doesn't really matter that much. For example, if we talk about something like smoking, even just one draw of smoke is negative for our health. We can't really say that, oh, because I just limit myself to one cigarette a day or something like that, it's suddenly healthy to smoke. No. From the first draw that you take from that cigarette, it negatively affects your health. So it's not beneficial. Because when we talk about diet, it almost seems to be like this, that a lot of people get into this illusion that they can eat whatever they like, they just eat whatever as long as they moderate it. And typically what this means is just calorie restriction. People think that as long as they maintain their weight and don't gain fat, by restricting portion control, restricting calories, as long as they moderate their food intake, eat moderately of all the food groups, they're going to be just fine, But the truth is that although moderation does matter, dosage does matter to some respect, it doesn't make an unhealthy habit suddenly become healthy. Everything that's unhealthy for us is unhealthy regardless of dose. But the consequences, of course, gets worse and worse the bigger the dose is. If you have one beer per day or one beer a week, it's not going to matter as much as if you have, 15 beers a day. That's going to be a huge difference in the impact it will have on your life. If I have one draw from a cigarette every single day the rest of my life, it's probably not going to impact my health all that much because it's such a small dosage. So in that respect, sure, dosage, moderation, it plays a role for sure, but it doesn't make an unhealthy activity become healthy. Now, what about healthy activities though? What about those things that are good for us? Sleep, fruit, water, exercise, sex. These things are naturally healthy activities, and people would definitely apply the moderation principles to them too. That's what most people do. They say, oh, you don't sleep too much now. Don't sleep too much. Moderation, moderation in everything. Or don't eat too much fruit. Oh my God, moderation. But in my opinion, moderation is not necessary when we're dealing with healthful activities. Why? Because it's naturally moderated by itself. When you sleep, you can just sleep as much as you want, as much as you need. And then when you had enough, your body wakes up. You wake up and you feel refreshed and you don't want to sleep anymore. It's just moderated by itself. Exercise. Moderation is key, everyone says. And then, of course, yeah, it is true. Can't just go out and do like crazy amount of exercise if you're not fit for it yet. That will probably cause an injury and overtraining, etc., etc. But the truth is that if you just go out and you listen to your body and you feel it out, your body will likely just tell you, this is enough for now. This is enough for now. So no need to really consciously moderate such an activity, the body moderates it itself. How much fruit to eat? Well, as much as you want. When you're hungry, until you're satisfied, it's naturally moderated. So let's wrap it up. What's moderation all about? In my opinion anyway. Well, I see it as something that we can use in our lives when we're doing things that are slightly on the edge of optimal, maybe even really not optimal at all. Because let's face it, not all of us, including myself, are going to always choose to do everything that is perfectly optimal for our bodies. And if we have certain activities that we like to do that has a cost on our health, maybe eating something that's not optimally healthy, drinking a beer, training more than we maybe should at times, staying up late because of some cool event, or whatever it is, it's just good to be aware that this is where moderation comes in. You want to stay up late? Go ahead, but maybe moderate it a little bit. Maybe not stay up super duper late because the effects are going to be so huge. Go to bed a little earlier than super late, but still staying up late. You moderate a little bit. You just love beer? Well, maybe just have a beer every now and then, or like once a week you have a beer, or even if you have a beer every other day or so. A beer, it's not going to make that big a difference. Now, if you start drinking several beers every day, it's pretty bad. It starts getting worse and worse. So again, moderation is key in everything unhealthy. Everything that we do that is not naturally optimal for us, all the things that are not just naturally what we would do in a natural environment with optimal conditions, everything else than that, we need moderation. We can use moderation to our advantage. Moderating the dosage of a poison essentially influences the consequences of that poison, right? So some poisons, I'm just using the word poison, it could apply to any unhealthy habit. Some poisons, they just require a small dose to have a huge negative effect. Those probably want to avoid completely. But let's say there's a poison where you can have quite a lot of that poison before it makes a huge impact in your life. Well, and then you can allow yourself a little bit of that poison if you're willing to take the consequences. But it's very important that you use moderation when you're doing it. That's the whole point of moderation. So yeah, that's I guess what I wanted to say today. I see moderation as something that you don't really need to worry about if you are doing everything optimally. You don't have to moderate your diet or your sleep or anything like that. Sleep as much as you want until you wake up refreshed. Go to bed when you're tired. When you're hungry, eat as much as you feel like until you're satisfied. When you want to go out and play in nature, want to go out and run or play or whatever, go out and do it until you don't want to do it anymore. It's sort of, we're built in this body, and this body has these natural ways to regulate how much we do and how much we eat and how much we sleep. And it's just, all we need to do is listen to the body and sort of allow it to do its thing. Hope your life is going awesome. I should probably stop this video now, it's getting long. Moderation is key. I need to moderate the length of these videos. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing if you haven't done so already, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye.